Good evening, people.
Hello.
And, welcome back to Revision Online 2020, kind of.
The late.
Sorry for the delay. We are, since we don't have a whole team,
we're doing this for the first time,
audio and everything. We had to set up everything here by ourselves, and we have no clue how to do this, but we kind of managed.
In the least.
So hopefully you'll hear and see us, and yeah.
Yep.
It is nice to be back, and it has been a couple of weeks now. I think like three-ish.
I would say 3, yeah.
Time is weird around during and after revision.
Especially after.
Yeah. Yeah, Dojoe, you're being
dogged,
eaten alive by the dog, kind of.
Yep, that's okay.
Yeah,
I can deal with it.
He's in a precarious place. Hopefully he doesn't bite.
Nah, that's okay.
That's okay.
Balls of steel, you know.
Everything damaged already, yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, proper introductions. This is Dojoe.
Hello. The gentleman to my right is D.Fox.
And the boy over here is Spook. Yeah, our producer, Dogman, is to our, I think, is this right or left on the screen?
I think it's
left.
camera left. Yeah.
Camera left, yeah. So yeah, we are the Super Skeleton crew, and we hope we can make this happen.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we hope you recovered from revision. We certainly
didn't.
Well, Dojoe, how have you been doing in the past couple of weeks?
It depends on what you mean by past. Well, the day after revision, I was dead. And then actually, yeah, life pretty much continued as, I want to say normal, but what's normal these days?
Yeah, as normal as it can be, yeah.
But it continued as pretty much before revision. So yeah, I am sufficiently relaxed now. The death inside has subsided and I am alive inside again, mostly.
Mostly, yeah.
Yes.
Spook, we're live on camera. That's
yes.
Inappropriate, man.
He's just licking my hand.
Okay, not.
Yeah, I have notoriously dry skin, so he's doing me a service here, I think. At least yeah. I think that's what he thinks.
Yeah, yeah. He wasn't at the studio during revision because we wouldn't have had any time. But now he's here, and he might jump around us a bit. Yeah.
I'm fine with the stream of Dojoe just petting the dog.
Yeah. That's going to be monetized at some point, yeah.
Yes, there will be a lot of side content of that type today, yeah, I guess.
No, monetized. We want to have money for Dojoe petting the dog. I mean, that's high quality content. You cannot get this anywhere.
We're more like demo-netized.
Demo-netized?
Oh yeah. God. Whenever I make a bad pun, we have to drink.
Oh, do we have enough drinks?
No.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
We promised evening drinks, and we're starting right now.
Cheers to all of you.
Cheers to all of you. Yeah, recovering from revision was a bit weird here for me because the studio where we are right now is actually also our living room, and it was a bit weird. The first couple of days after the party, you come back to the living room and it's like, something's missing, and when do we have to go live? And weird things were like. When going to the toilet, it's like, oh, is my mic hot? that took a day or two to be like, can I pee now?
Yeah, that was probably a lot easier for me because I returned back home and I didn't have anything to. It was easier for me to adapt.
Yeah, it was also weird not having you here because when we lived together for like 4 or 5 days, it was like, well, Dojoe should get up and make breakfast right now, but he didn't.
Well,
I was very disappointed.
Do it all yourself.
Yeah.
I did make breakfast, but at home.
That is disappointing, but understandable. Yeah. Yeah. I'm still kind of recovering. I fell into a bit of a depression after revision, but that's quite normal. Because that is just what happens every year after revision. But we're getting there. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
To have some public service announcement. I have a couple of updates regarding the t-shirts. They are soon in print, and it will take a while until you get them. Please be a bit more patient. It is not easy ordering a lot of t-shirts right now, and then we have to take care of how do we ship 600-700 shirts, but we figured that out. And yeah, trophies are being made as well. So all the winners, first, second, and third place, you'll get your trophies also, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, sorry that it takes so long, but yeah, it's been interesting.
Yeah. And I'm going to say the M word now, and only once for this entire evening.
That's maybe.
Same goes for the meteoric statues and certificates.
Yes.
We still need to get them finalized and get them printed. But when all that is said and done, we didn't forget about you, and we will ship them to you as soon as we can. Might still be a few weeks, so bear with us. You will get them.
So yeah, revision doesn't really stop after the party's over, and meteorics don't stop once the show's over as well. So we are, but that's quite normal. Yeah. Usually we don't have to send out shirts and trophies, but we have to pay bills and everything. So that was replaced with all the shipping that's going to happen. And yeah, I want to thank you all again for overwhelming us with your support in terms of tickets and shirts and all the feedback we got. It was fantastic. I had a hell of a time, and I mean that in a good way.
No, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I loved it.
So even though it was weird, but at some point we got used to it, and there was always action here in the studio. Draupin was always on the phone or in chat or on her, what's it called, headset? AirPods, yeah, discussing everything with everybody to coordinate everything, and I think CGI and cyraxx, they didn't sleep that much during those 4 days. Nor did we, and all the crew. Again, thank you for making this happen, because it was a privilege to do this. Remotely distributed was definitely a hell of an experience. Yeah, and I have to say, I wouldn't mind doing it again, but only if we have to. But it was fun. Yeah.
And did you take a look at the Poo-It News section today?
Today, no.
Or today, or yesterday, or whatever. I think it all happened on on April 28th. We have 4 announcements of parties that are going online, one after the other. Flash Party is going online, Outline is going online, and 2 others that I don't remember.
Yeah, and I think we might see a lot of it. Solskog is going online, that was the 3rd. Yep. And the 4th, I'm not sure. I know from a couple of organizers they are planning for it. And so, yeah, I guess there will be a lot of Twitch watching from the sofas. Yes. And we get a lot of questions how we did things, and maybe cyraxx, when he joins us in a couple of minutes, can not discuss what we did, but he can maybe offer some insights in terms of maybe we'll do a write-up or something. But we'll see how that will be.
Speaking of cyraxx, do you think we should charge the AirPods for a while?
We can. You mean? No, they should be fine.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
Also, I'm afraid that then if our audio setup is
advanced
and quite regressed. So yeah, you can just.
You really want me to go into details?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll try. So we're doing this live show via Whereby. It's running on the streaming PC, and because we need to monitor the output from the streaming PC, we wanted to stream it all onto Bluetooth. The streaming PC doesn't have Bluetooth, so we have the line out of the streaming PC routed into the microphone input of my laptop, and that is set up to stream the audio out to the AirPods via Bluetooth. It's all very shaky, but so far it's working.
Yeah, I mean that's the audio that we hear when once people join us, and I'm actually afraid that if we put them back in the charging case and charge them,
then the Bluetooth connection will drop, and I will have to get up and get it all running again. And we'll hear a lot of swearing in the background while you try to fill airtime.
Yeah, I can dance or like spook. I can just
spook and dance.
Spook and dance. He actually can. Yeah.
Yes.
He's dancing around a lot. Yeah, to all kinds of music.
Yeah. Another thing. Speaking of music, we have a little bit of background music going. Let us know in the Twitch chat if it's too loud or too soft or
Okay,
or just perfect.
it's already.
Fixed it and now it's perfect.
Okay,
Well, it's
yeah.
perfect now. Okay.
Yeah, we have a producer here.
We have a producer.
Yeah. Okay. I think that should do it for opening remarks. Yeah, let's take another sip here, and then we will, in a couple of seconds or minutes, hopefully cyraxx will join us, and we can talk a bit about the technical aspects or just get some impressions from him. So cyraxx, if you hear us, probably with the stream delay, we are ready.
Also, we hope you have drinks.
I heard he made himself a beer, or he wanted to.
Make or open? Because make could take a while.
I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, Spooky Lion. He's such a good dog.
Dug.
Yeah. There is
Someone's knocking on the door.
cyraxx. Hey cyraxx.
Hi.
Hey.
How's it going?
It's going. Something
It's going
is
somewhere.
It's going somewhere, exactly, yeah. So how have you been doing after revision? Everything back to normal?
Pretty much. I mean, work is pretty busy right now, so I've been basically, after revision was over, I've transitioned right back into that. But yeah, it was weird just unplug a couple cables and then revision was gone. Usually we spent 2 days on location and then we spent like another day driving back and unloading trucks and everything. And now it was just, okay, I guess this is over. And I'll remove all the hardware that I put on my couch table and yeah, it was gone.
You spent 2 days unloading truck?
Well,
He's not that heavy.
we sometimes spend a couple days with truck unloading all his sorrows on us, but that's a difference.
Yeah. So
We love truck.
definitely, yeah.
We do.
Yeah, we got a lot of questions already and inquiries about how we did things and what can other parties learn from this. And I mean, there was some people specifically asked for help, but not a bit like us doing things, but them telling them how they can do something similar than what we did. So I'm sure, I think we talked about it already, the basic setup, but maybe you can just repeat it again for people who forgot it, or like, it's always interesting to hear how we did everything in a nutshell.
Yeah, you kind of have to like differentiate between the way that we did it and the way that we recommend that others do it, because our setup was a little bit more complicated. And
like ours here.
yeah, we were talking about just writing it down somewhere for all the other party organizers who've been asking us now, and we kind of want to split that into 2 sections, like just like for your information, this is what we did, and also this is what we think you should do if you don't have a full-on streaming team and all the hardware and everything. So what we did was basically all the remote feeds, so like your studio, all the scene set commentators, everything that came in from the outside world went to Sweden to SceneSet's streaming server, and from there it went to Helsinki, where in Helsinki CGI had set up this. Well, basically our stream HQ was in Helsinki in a post-production studio, where he had set up a couple of machines. The main piece of software being vMix. Everything that you saw on stream went through vMix, and there was a separate software for encoding, a separate machine, separate software for just playing out videos and stuff. So yeah, everything went from the SceneSet server to Finland, and then from Finland back to SceneSet, and from there to Twitch. And then at the same time, we had Discord for like the internal communication. And we had CGI set up there in Finland, and then Matt Carencier in Las Vegas, and me here in Germany. We both remote control the setup in Finland. So I mean, CGI was there most of the time, but just in case he had to go do something else or whatever else came up, we were able to remote control everything. So we had all the inputs on the multi-view on our screens as well. And sometimes we worked at the same time. So CGI would do the video switching, and at the same time, I would go in and prepare like the on-screen graphics and edit the text for that and throw that on. So we could kind of split our duties.
That is crazy.
Absolutely, and it worked really well. It's I think from what we've seen on the big TV, what got out on Twitch, and also from watching the replays later on, it looked absolutely professional.
Yeah, it was. Oh, there goes my camera. Speaking of professional, I know how to fix this. Hold on, I need to switch to this horrible other webcam for a second. I do this, and then I unplug this, and then I plug that back in.
Hello, cyraxx from below.
Hello, hi there. And then I switch again, and then maybe
it's the other cyraxx.
Boom! There we go.
Whoa!
We are professionals.
Professional
hardware that never fails.
Well, professionals always have a backup, and you did.
Yeah. By the way, Dojo, your outfit is really on point.
I like your T-shirt as well. People on the Twitch chat also noticed.
I've also got this little guy here.
Oh yeah,
he likes it as well. Yeah.
I know the guy.
Now I feel underdressed.
Yeah,
what are you wearing? What is that?
I have no idea. I found it like in the dumpster somewhere.
Were we talking about something?
Complicated, professional. Everything worked pretty well.
So yeah,
I was gonna say, like big props to well, first of all, CGI for spending a week setting up all that the technical side of it and figuring out all the what stream goes where and all that. And to DiFFtY, I still don't know how to pronounce her nickname correctly, so I just call her Lisa all the time. But yeah, she like you said already, she's been the entire day. She's been running around talking to us and talking to everyone else and coordinating and making sure everything is on time or rearranging the timetable on very short notice. And we had one of the key parts of how we were able to actually stick to our timetable so amazingly well was that she prepared these very detailed cue sheets where like down to each second you would see what goes on when. And so without that I think we would have a lot of uncertainty, like are we going to switch to the hosts? No, what are we actually doing? And it would be dead air. But we had this detailed rundown that she prepared, and we were able to just look at what's next and press the right button.
And I don't know how many times we asked Lisa, hey, when are we on again? And she's like, you have a cue sheet right in front of you.
We were like, okay.
What is this thing?
What is this paper everybody's talking about? Question in the chat about the T-shirts. As said, they will be produced as soon as possible. Oh, cyraxx is gone.
Yeah. Professional hardware that never fails.
Yeah, T-shirt. I would say expect them in about 4 weeks. Sorry, it will take that long. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks to produce, which will hopefully be done at Monday or Tuesday. And then we have to ship it worldwide, so that could take a while. Depending on where you live, Germany, I think the Germans should, or like the Central Europeans, that should be going quite quickly. But if you're from the US, Australia, Japan, or Russia, or Brazil, or I don't know where people order shirts from, I think from all over the world, that will take probably a bit longer. But once we know more, we'll update you on Twitter and Facebook and Poet probably. Yeah. So Spook is getting bored. Willst du dahin? Komm.
Word Spook.
Ja, komm. Ja, komm.
Now I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. And here we go.
You go.
Okay. Boy. Yeah. The write-up. I think that's a smart thing to do. Because I was asking a couple of times, and you see it pop up here and there, like that people want to know what we did.
Yeah, we should actually do that sometime. Yeah.
Yeah. Ideally, before the den Assessment. Was willst du denn jetzt schon wieder, Spook?
Before the next online demo party starts, right?
I guess they will figure it out, but I mean, ideally before there is no need anymore for this, which we don't know how long it's going to take. But we're determined to have the revision next year in person, in the evac, up close and personal. Maybe
Hopefully,
not that close, yeah, but ideally
Huddled,
closer than now.
huddled up in evac mini edition.
Yeah.
So how was revision like overall? How did it feel for you compared to regular revision?
Hard to say. In some aspects, it was as stressful and exhausting as usual, because like I didn't sleep much, and weird times. And actually, usually I am during revision. I'm mostly behind my computer and doing stuff and de-escalating and escalating things. But this time, as host, there was a completely different story, because we had to be on like every hour at least once an hour, or like in average, yeah. But yeah, it was similarly exciting. Probably because there were
That's
three
good.
of us. Yeah, I loved it. And I think it was the first time when I actually saw all the compos.
Oh yeah, me too.
at least.
Me too. It was weird because for us as a stream team, usually the most stressful times are live acts and shader showdown. And then during the compos, it's like the only time where we actually have some time to, while an entry is running, go outside and have some food. Which is sad because we missed the compos, but that's like the only time that we have. And this time was the opposite. Like during the compos, we were all on and busy and running the compos and checking the time and playing the next entry and everything. And now during live acts and shader showdown, we were just, well, that was the time for us now to suddenly be able to step away and get food or do something else. So it was different stressful, but it was And when we first planned this, I thought, oh, it's going to be just a live stream. I'm going to be able to actually go to bed at a reasonable time and get some sleep. Yeah, that didn't happen. I didn't. But I did. About the same amount of sleep as I would have gotten usually at revision. So I mean, that's fine. It was still revision.
Yeah.
For me, it was kind of like it was a. The compos and the events were a similar experience to revision, as in terms of I could watch all the compos and it was interesting. I could I was anticipating the next prod in the compo and I was going with it. But what was definitely missing was the both the crowd reaction and the atmosphere of the big hall. That's a total. Revision is always a fairy wonderland. For me, it's a complete escape from the usual world, and that is something that I was escaping to your living room, which is a different thing than my own home, but it was a lot more mundane than revision original recipe.
Yeah, there was a time for us because we were just thinking about like the stream and switching video sources and all, and then. We went live and the first compo started, and then there was a moment where I realized when I saw the entries on screen, I was like, oh, this is actual revision. this is an actual demo. There's entries and just like there always is. Because to us, also, the compo team, the compo recording team, shout out to them. They've spent days and weeks coordinating and running, getting all the entries to run, recording them and trimming the video and everything. And for us, they just magically appeared on the file server. Like there's some videos, we play them, but there was a whole big complicated process behind that. But we didn't notice that. So that was the moment for me when I saw the entries playing. I was like, oh yeah, this is actually a demo party. I totally forgot about that.
We had similar moments like that.
Yeah, we had the first hour we were live. Yeah, the first hour of the stream. And then I think there were seminars, and during the seminars we made some food, and when we took off our mics, at least for me it was like, fuck yeah,
This
is happening. There are 1,300 people who are watching the stream at that moment. And we're just preparing some food, and we're like, this is weird, but this is happening, and it's awesome. It was a great feeling there.
Yeah.
And that didn't go away until the end. At least for me, it didn't.
It was, I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have no idea what the time is because usually we had a big clock in front of us, but I forgot to set that up.
I realized as soon as we went live, I was like, oh, there was something missing.
I was going to say, don't you have a producer there with you who are just praised for always keeping everything on time?
Yeah.
Is she giving you any hand signals?
In the finger.
The middle one.
Oh.
Yeah. There's another question. Did we expect less releases before the party? Actually, expect isn't the right word. We saw once we announced it, there were like mixed feedback, like, okay, I'm not going to release something where there's no live audience and where it can be at the big screen. But then we saw the other side. Those were the people who usually don't make it to revision because they're too far away, no money or family or anything, and they submitted a lot of remote entries. So I think I anticipated less, but I hoped for about the same. And I think in the end we had more than ever. At least in terms of submissions. Obviously we have to pre-select, and then so the play time of all the compos roughly stays the same. But we had, I think, dozens more entries than usual, especially in music and graphics compos. Yeah. Good. I think we should go on with the program.
Yeah, kind of pick up, get back some of the time we lost when we started late.
So let's see what is up next. Dojo, you should know this.
The next up we will we are going to show you the winning demo of Revision Online 2020, which is VX2 by Spectrals. And after that, we will have part of the Spectrals crew right here with us in the chat, and well, not in the chat, on the stream, and we're gonna talk to them for a while.
That sounds great.
That's good.
Okay.
So,
then,
Oh, some last words. Yes, Oki, those are actual Buc-ee's t-shirts. I bought them at a Buc-ee's station between Austin and San Antonio.
I don't know where I bought this one. This one was somewhere, between Houston and Austin, I think.
Yeah.
I've been stopping at so many Buc-ee's, and then finally I was like, okay, I gotta buy the t-shirt.
Yes, you do. And now this one is already a few years old. I'm gonna get a new one next time I'm in Austin.
I miss
Sounds
that.
good. Yeah. Cyraxx, thank you for being here. And,
Thanks for having me.
Always
Always.
pleasure.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah,
and
now I get to go back to watching, and you still have to work.
By the way, do you have a drink? I haven't seen a drink.
I have.
Drink.
I've got a beer right here from a brewery that's like 100 meters away from me over here. So
Nice.
Cool.
cheers.
So,
cheers.
Cheers. And enjoy.
You too. Okay, then let's watch a demo.
All right then, let's watch a demo.
So, and welcome.
We are back.
We are back
Yes.
live on Twitch. Sorry about the chopped video. Our setup is, as said before, not the best. And I think I accidentally, I unknowingly downloaded the 4K video file from YouTube. Yeah, I guess.
And oh my god, I said the Y word.
Yeah, it's great of you to join us today. And
thank you for having us.
Yeah, we have 3 people from Spectrals with us today. We have Anaghir, coder, as far as I remember. We have Maid, established scene graphician, and we have Mr. Speedman, also coder, if I remember correctly. Hey, man.
Yeah. Awesome production. Thank you for submitting this at revision.
Beautiful.
It was definitely one of the top 3 productions, in personal for me, during the whole party. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
And before I forget, do you have drinks?
Oh, it's very
We
important.
have drinks, yes.
Very good. Then
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers. And a cat as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
No, not for me.
Yeah. Tell us a bit about your revision experience. How did you feel about it when we went online? How was the experience from your homes?
Well, maybe. Well, for us, it was the first. For me, it was the first. I think for Speedman too. Maid talked about the revision to us every year and said, "You have to come. You have to go see this fantastic experience." And so we did. we said we're coming, and unfortunately, it was how it was, but it was. Great experience, really great, and yeah, we hope to be. Sorry, go ahead.
For years, I tried to drag these guys to the revision, and I was talking about the ambience, the people, the noise, the wursts, and everything that makes the revision experience. And and sadly this year it was a special version, but you guys pulled something exceptional.
Thank you.
Thank you again for everything you did. And so it was not the same. It was a different experience, but the good mood was here, and I think a lot of people wanted this to happen and needed something to cheers them up, you know. And I could read that on all the chat rooms everywhere in France, and the revision, the demo scene chat room, and it was so cool to feel it for 3 days. We were working. I was maybe finishing everything 1 week before, prior to the revision, finishing my pictures, finishing the demo, locking everything, the work away, and so it was different, but a part of the experience was still here.
Yeah, that was the hope.
The thing for me, it was incredible. Yeah.
But yeah, next year we hope to see you all in person.
Yes, that would be
again.
good.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
How long did it take you to make this demo happen?
We started talking about around the raclette. it was in October. So we started in October with zero line of code, nothing, not even a framework, and nothing.
So it started. We said we are going to the revision. We have to make a demo.
Yeah.
A small thing. Everybody will laugh at it, but we have to do something because it's a demo party. So
Well, they didn't laugh.
and then we got thrilled by it, and then it came up this way.
That's what I said to the guys. That revision, you can come as you are. there is no special expectation. Just do something and share what you have to share. And it took some years, but the guys wouldn't come without something to show. So from there, we started thinking about something that we could. Because the coders have very different skills and different level in this demo, we needed to have something that we could stick together, you know. And yeah, so Speedman had this idea, and maybe could share more about it.
Yeah, do share. How did you get the idea? How did you? I mean, you made a demo with like one graphics guy, with one musician, and I think I counted 4 or 5 coders.
Yeah.
How did you make this work? How did you put all of this together?
It started very slowly at first. I think when we had this idea of the mood of the graphical aesthetic we wanted for the demo, we started to test many things. I made a very little test like metaball. You see the metaballs at the end. It's one of my first tests for the aesthetic, and it gradually upgrade until one day we have all together the complete demo. But it was a lot of up and downs. We lose one coder during the process. One Marvel started with us. He was here at the start of the project, and he just like push us to do something.
Yeah, he came up with a lot of ideas at the beginning,
and one day he changed the job, and he said, "I can't help I can't help you anymore." So we had to reconsider how we do it. Yeah, it was.
But you have to tell one thing, that what helped a lot is that we knew each other for maybe more than 10 years. Mm-hmm. We met and worked on
20 years.
Maybe 20. Yes. Time flies.
With that old.
20 years.
It was maybe my first video game company. And I met these guys that were there doing their job. And as some of you know, game companies are like a school. So we each do what we like to do, and we all stick together for years. And they always were not part of the demo scene, but following what we were doing. So they were up to date with demos.
Yeah. And we have the same vision for this demo all the way long. We have the one vision made helped us for the storyboard and how we manage a demo, because we don't know the timing and the transition and all this kind of stuff. Everybody has his part.
Yeah, and we have to thank Steph who is not here, and who helped us a lot. He came later on in the project, but he was really he pulled us up to the level we pulled the demo to the level it was at the end, because he was maybe a little more experienced than us, because he did demo stuff in the past, and it helped us with the music too, with making Alcama join us later, and to have the music you heard, the fantastic music. and it was the music it's funny because we didn't have the music until maybe I think 2 weeks or 2 weeks before the revision. We didn't have any music,
wow.
so
Okay.
we had all the effects were in the with no music, and then we had to fine tune them at the end to be even on the Marauder part, the Running Man part. I did some tweaks on the day of the revision.
Oh yeah, party coding.
It's the Demosen style.
So we
spirit.
even at home we did that. So it was a lot of fun and great experience.
Yeah, it's really fantastic. It is. I've seen it a couple of times. I don't see any bugs or visual flaws. It just flows for 7.5 minutes. Yeah,
7.5 minutes.
That is just
super long.
fantastic work.
Yeah.
So
We were supposed to do a 4 minutes demo,
and it went overboard.
and something just went wrong. But wow.
Nothing wrong with it.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect, and we haven't had such a long PC demo in a long time.
I don't know if we ever had a 7.5 minutes.
And the last really long PC demo I remember, might be some others in between, but the last really long one I remember was actually made by Frenchies as well. It was Interstase by Mankind. That was also very long.
Okay.
It was the one with the very slow one with the astronaut and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. That was a very long one as well, and then also I really enjoyed it. I wonder, or the Twitch chat also wonders, did any of you ever own a Vectrex?
Yes, we at my work we have a Vectrex. We played a lot with it for a while. Then now it's broken, so maybe the next project will be to make it work again.
Is that what gave you the initial idea? Or how did you get to make this Vectrex theme?
I came from Speedman, so we let him...
At first it was to make a demo with only newbie first comer. I had this idea of a very simple renderer. I really love the vector graphics. It's something. It's so 80s, and it has it had something you could not ask what is it. It's vector graphics, and you cannot it's recognizable.
And it's kind of infinite resolution in a way.
Yeah,
it's not as pixely as pixel graphics.
Yeah, it can be very thin, and the glowy effect also is nice. There is a small persistence of the beam, which lead to a small. Yeah, it's an aesthetic, a particular aesthetic, and it's simple at start to have something. So it's why also we had this idea.
Yeah, and you pulled off a very beautiful rendering. It really felt like an actual emulated Vectrex.
Yeah.
Cool. And eventually it didn't anymore, because then it was like 3D graphics and everything. But
yeah,
I think at first I was confused. It's like, okay, did they actually build a new one and this is like a promo? But then it was like, okay, there's something is not right, but this is awesome.
Yeah, Kalmau actually asked me why the demo was shown in the PC demo compo and not in the wild compo, because it was on this interesting new platform.
Yeah, it was. It's as I said before. There's not a single frame that's out of place. It is. It's amazing.
Works very well together.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thrilled that it was the result was unexpected, because I mean we had a lot of fun doing it. That's what drove us. It's to have fun and to work with. We used to work 20 years ago. We all worked together, but now we all split. and it was a way of working back together too.
Yeah,
So,
that's never a bad thing. Getting back together and work on something. Yeah.
You worked in a game company, you said?
We used to, and Speedman still does, and Steph too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So any new projects planned for the next party?
Poker face.
No pressure. Yes, pressure.
we're coming next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
That sounds great. Yeah. Okay, I think our time is mostly up because we have other people waiting in the queue.
Yeah.
Thanks again for being here with us tonight.
It was a pleasure.
And it was very interesting to hear your input and on the demo and on the party. And I hope we see each other at the latest next year at Easter.
Yes,
For sure.
And
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect.
So yeah, thanks and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Being here. And thanks for the great demo.
Yeah. Cheers.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much again.
You all stay safe.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Fun for
See you
the
around.
revision.
And so, next up, we're going to take a look at the favorite thing of Revision Online 2020,
Yeah.
which is Memories by Desire. And afterwards, we'll have HellMood and Leia on the stream.
Yeah. So let's watch another amazing production. So, and we are back.
Hey.
We have here with us HellMood and Leia. So, welcome to the stream.
Cheers.
I cannot.
Hello,
okay.
cheers.
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 Cheers again.
Yeah, have a nice dog here. Yeah, thank you for being here tonight. Yeah, the question that we asked everybody so far is, how did you experience Revision Online? How was it for you? Just some thoughts on what you thought about it. Can be negative.
Yeah, we don't judge. Also, we are very far away, so you don't have any proof here.
When you
So
want
who
to
are you
start?
asking? Yeah. Okay, I can start with that. Well, for me, Revision Online was good, but also a bit weird. Like I started off in Sofaworld in the day, and I realized, of course, that the minute I went into the hall in Sofaworld, I had the same experience that I always had at Revision. I can't leave the hall again. Which makes all the preparations I normally have to do on Friday, especially for the 5K run, really hard, because once you're in that hall, it's really hard to leave it, because there's so many people, there's so many things going on. And that actually happened in Sofaworld, which is kind of funny. But then, as the weekend progressed, there was just so much happening all the time that you kind of so much information that I kind of lost track at some point. That there was just no way to follow it. So it was like information overload.
That is also a very revision thing to happen, isn't it?
Yeah, but
yeah, it's different, I think.
Yeah, sure.
It's different because you at revision you go up to a group of people and you have that specific group of people that you talk with, and yes, there's a lot of things happening around you, but you can kind of zone it out.
You can focus more.
Yeah, you are in a focus group, but for example in the Discord, then everything just like and
yeah, it was impossible to follow. Yeah.
No way.
But in Sofaworld, it was kind of good because there was a slightly smaller amount of people there, so the chat there was fun. And I got to see a lot more compos than I did, and I especially enjoyed breakfast with you guys.
Yep. Yeah, we also enjoyed that. That was a very, very fun experience.
Yeah, HellMood, how about you?
So yeah, I was like in Revision twice before, and I had to say it was a weird, like more intense experience, but lacking the people, which was weird. So the last times I enjoyed talking with the people and drinking with the people, like with Mowgli on a bonfire. We had some shots, and it was fun. And this time it was crazy because you could interact with people more directly. I'm not a socially awkward type, but you could like chat with them, like just tag them and write them. But they were actually not present, so the communication was rolling better in some manners, but it was not the real experience. So I also was in Sofaworld. It was amazing. I was just mind blown. It was so real, and it showed me that even you don't need like real good graphics. You just need representation, and you need symbols, a symbolic representation, and it worked. So I was like seeing Hardy and dancing with him on the floor, and I was like seeing Saga music, and like I didn't know how to wave, but I would have waved if I knew how to do it. So it was like a weird experience, but in two ways it was better and worse than the real thing. I cannot really grasp it, you know.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. It was similar for us. It was great to see all the compos and great to have the interactions if you want them to. But as Leia said, there was not really a break. Usually at Revision you can go outside and you're still in the party, but you might miss something. But here when you went away from the screen, it felt like, okay, I'm still at home. I can talk to people on Discord, but it was a disconnect at this point. But we also we watched most of the things, but at some point you have to eat. We have to I don't know, go to the toilets and do some things in general that are like work related. What we did here, and
every time it reminds you that you're not really there.
Yeah, and that was interesting because sometimes it felt like so relaxing that you're still at Revision, but you're also at home. But then it felt like once we didn't watch the stream for like half an hour, it was like, oh yeah, Revision is going on. We have to rewatch. We have to watch things because we're on in half an hour or something. Yeah. It was very weird. But yeah, I would also say good and bad at the same time. But yeah. HellMood, let's talk about your fantastic tiny intro. You won best prod, basically crowd favorite. Sorry. And I hope that felt amazing. It was amazingly fantastic to watch it. So it would be great if you talk a bit about how you managed to pull this off.
Okay, so I have prepared some bullet points, which are on my other screen. So if I look in this direction, then I'm reading some stuff. So the first thing I want to say, it was an overwhelming feedback I did not expect at all. I will explain that later, but it was just totally overwhelming. Like the feedback I got on Poor on YouTube, it was for my relations, it was just out of this world. Like I had like dozens of thousands of views and so many thumbs and likes, and people were like mind blown that I didn't really understand like until 1 week later what this meant and why. So and even like I was on Hacker News and Reddit, and normally I try to present myself and the scene on the social media, but this time people did it for me, and this was unexpected as well. Like I went to Reddit and to post something, and it was already there because people were like figuring stuff out. I was like, what the fuck is happening? So let me start a bit back because I have prepared that because there are influences in why I'm here and what I'm doing. So especially for the revision and for the size coding competition, there wasn't a size coding competition recently. So
Yeah,
in
that's-
2016, I remember, for example, there was like just a wild competition, but Sensenstahl, hello Tony, just entered the wild competition with a 256-byte intro. And then 2017, the same happened, but there was Sensenstahl and Kümmel doing this, and LFT doing his crazy C64 thing, but he was entering the old school competition and won it with his fantastic, what was the name? You all know it.
A Mind is Born.
Yes,
think
amazing,
it was.
great stuff. So in 2018, Sensenstahl did the same thing. He just buzzed around and gathered people to hijack the wild competition.
Yep,
So
then it
this-
worked.
Yeah, and this is when things kicked off, and I was like able to win that one. Even I didn't expect that as well, but it was an awesome way to like enter the revision for the size coding scene in general. So this is what happened, and I'm totally thankful to all the people who like broke the door to enter a revision with a size coding competition. So especially for Sensenstahl to make it possible. Then why I'm here, I have to go back a bit. The influences in general. Why am I even in a scene? Because I'm not an old school scener. I looked it up. It was a mail I sent to Roller in 2009 because I was seeing his Pulse intro, and this was like going out of the demo scene and reaching a lot of people and me as well. And I was like saying to him, "So yeah, this was great. I don't know how you pulled that one off." So I remember like the outports and the interrupt 10 and mode 13, but I cannot compile it. Can you help me? So in 2009, he helped me like to compile this intro so that I can see it. So from this time, I was a bit hooked, but didn't do anything to 2013. So when I entered and did stuff, I was not alone. So who made this happen in general are all the size coders out there, like the legends like Roller and Digimind, but also like the like nowadays it's Tomcat and Kümmel and Sensenstahl. I wrote down there way more, who like constantly put out amazing productions which like keep me interested. Like how did they do stuff? So I have something to analyze, to think about. Always also it's good to have a competition. And the new kids, so I call them right now, are Ionic and Super Rogue. Like they are active like I don't know how long, but the productions are like super awesome. Like Super Rogue just won twice in a row, like in February. I was not paying attention in that time. I had stuff to do, and when I was looking, like he won 2. And I was like, yeah, this is good. So people are new in the scene. So
And Ionic,
this is why I'm
Ionic
here.
is the guy who made the demo with the rotating moon, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
that was so realistic.
That was perplexingly realistic.
Yeah, that was really awesome. So yeah, this is why I'm here, and I can just say I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, and not only because what I mentioned, but also what I did in the intro was actually a backup plan. Because I had some ideas in mind, but I couldn't pull them off, like real, like ideas with direction and concepts, because I'm not really good at that. So I figured I cannot do it. So yeah, then I remembered that, like, for example, KK of Altair and Trials from Desire, all that guys, they are keep asking me, like, for years, why don't you pull all your tiny effects you do in one intro? And I was like, yeah, but that's boring because everybody has seen these effects already. But it turned out that they haven't. Like, they didn't. This is what I understood like 1 week later. Nobody has followed me for 7 years and figured, oh yes, he did this one again. He did this, not again. He did this already. He did this. Nobody knows that stuff. And especially for what I did was I took effects I didn't understand or was amazed by and dissected them, analyzed them, and optimized them further. So, and I was releasing them part by part. So, for example, Sensenstahl came to me with the idea of doing a multiple effect intro. This is what later became Quattro, but he already had some kind of tiny framework ready for, I think, 4 effects or 6, I don't know. And this is what later became Quattro, but this time we used custom colors in the FPU, so it was quite large. And I think we won QB party or something with it. And so the framework was already there. Then the ideas I had was, for example, there was a Roto-Zoomer battle in 2002. Between Conspiracy and IQ, I think? Or was it IQ? Yes, I think it was IQ.
And
so
you decided to enter the battle on yourself with a 64-byte intro.
Yes, no. I'm talking about they just wanted to show off who did the better Roto-Zoomer. And they did it in like 60 or whatever, no, 50 bytes. And I was not understanding what they did, so I took the code apart and analyzed it and was able to crunch it down to 32. So that alone was, I don't know, weak work or something. So I had one effect already done, but the ideas of the effect, like you can do a rotozooming without the FPU. That was not mine, that was Gargaj's idea basically. So this was just one effect. So the other one was doing the parallax stuff. This is something that Roller did before, but in reverse with weird colors and with triangles. And I was like searching for optimizing with something else and bringing it down to 32. So I found this one and some effect of Sensenstahl again, like Bitropolis. And I was just trying to make the idea of something square-shaped work with the right colors. So the work already was done before. Like I said, it was not my idea to pull this off initially. It was already there, just weird looking with like the parallax stuff was wrong. I think in Roller's case, the back part was moving faster than the front. It just was wrong and the shape was a triangle. And so I did the checkerboard idea with that. I just had to modify a bit and to squeeze it down again. Yeah. So then again, there was two very fantastic productions from TBC and Board Surfer. The Spongy, this was a 3D raycaster and 128 bytes, and his Wolf, yeah, 128, yes, the interactive stuff. So I was very inspired to do this in 64, which was then later into a new era, and I took one of these parts. And also the Board Surfer did this floorcast thing, like many people did the floorcast, and I just was thinking myself, how can this be smaller? So I did all this stuff already, and not for this intro, it just existed. So at one time, I just pulled this all together. And let me just talk a minute when I have the time about size coding strategies, because I did something before which I was thinking was good and it didn't like catch the audience. So the 2019 I had some intro with high resolution and with PC speaker music, you know, and people were apparently they were not like hooked. They were like, yeah, I don't know, it's one scene, it's 3D, and I couldn't get the point across that if you're using DOSBox and music, then the performance is like 10% of what a modern PC is. And I did like a raycasting 3D, it was fake apparently. But people didn't like catch it, and so I just flipped for the backup plan this year. I just flipped what I was thinking, because you can either decide for low resolution or high resolution. You can choose to have music or not, and if you don't have music, you have performance. And you can decide between custom colors, like having a good palette or not. So this time I thought, okay, I did custom colors and I did all the high resolution stuff and I did like PC speaker, and people were not really caught by it. So let's get back to the basics. Let's not do custom colors. Let's just stay in low resolution, and let's not try to use FPU, but instead increase the number of effects. And then I was like, yeah, I did this before. I have so many effects. I just will put it together. So
yes. And still, I mean, like merging it all into 256 bytes, that was the real task.
Yeah, so the framework was already there, like in a bit, like the Sensenstahl and I did Quattro, so I had to tune this a little bit more, and I just added a little tweak so that the last time Quattro, like the effects were scrolling through in screens, and this time I was like, yeah, I can fade it, so do a cross fading, and this is actually not so hard to pull up. I did it before, I think when I was inspired by A Mind Was Born, I did A Mind Evolves, and I already did this effect where you can dither fade between gradients. I did this already in the background, so I just figured I can do it between frames. You just offset the time by a random position from the screen, and you have fading. Yeah. Okay. So this is what I did, and yeah, that's it. That's nothing more to say. It's not really. I mean, I'm really flattered by all the reactions, but it's not as hard as you think, because everything was already there, and I was just doing a showcase of effects. Like, what can you do? Like, squeeze into it.
Yeah, but you managed to astound the audience, and that was
apparently I did. So I was not expecting. Yes, for the music, I decided against music, and first I think I had like 4 effects, and it was not good. Then I put some time into it, and I think I got this idea from many size coders that music is not that important. Like if you want to do a demo, then you have to put a little bit of music, but the demo should work without the music as well. So I did just hopping through the space. I did this before already lots of times, like having one note and then adding a constant and then wrapping it around and just code this and then listen to it. And I mean, I can play piano myself, and I know how to do it, and I know a bit of theory, but this was just exploring the tonal space. And at one time, with a magic constant you might find in the code, it was like, this sounds really, really good, like some jazz music. And Utopia, it was John. Who was this? John.
Yeah, somebody heard something in it, but I don't remember what it was.
Multiple people actually, but yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to cut you short now because
Sorry.
we're almost running out of time.
No, but
And
we have to hear from Leia.
yes, we wanted to ask Leia about the 5K run and how did you set it up? How happy are you with it?
I'm really happy about it actually. It started out when I saw the first announcement about revision and that it would go online, and I saw D.Fox I guess it was in typing and saying that we didn't know how this would go yet, but if anyone had anything that they wanted to have help out with some content, then feel free. And I thought about, okay, how do we make the 5K run work for an online edition? And it actually just clicked. I think everything we did was thought about in about 3 minutes, which was kind of fun. The only thing we didn't do that I thought originally was that because of privacy reasons, we didn't show the list of like all these people are out running at once that Endermunder can show you. But other than that, it was quite fast. It was basically okay. Let's just run together, even if we're not running together in space. We can run together in time.
Yeah, that was. I think that was something that that definitely helped making revision feel like revision. Like because there's still a 5K, we had everything, and the 5K. I'm sure that helped, and we had. How many participants did we have? I think more than normal.
Yeah, on Endermunder, it's there are 59 who are signed up for it. I think the biggest amount I've seen on an actual not online revision is around 30 on one of those years when it was really sunny. But out of those 59, there are 41 that has actually managed to get times registered. I believe that's because some of them had to run earlier in the day than we set the event up due to restrictions in their home countries. I know at least 4 or 5 more people who had that problem. We originally thought that we could change the time of the event after the event so that everyone of those could also join in, but apparently Endermunder won't let you edit the time after the event has ended, which I'm sorry to all of those that ran that I told them that it will be fixed later, but it didn't. But actually, I want to talk about when I got home, because that was like my big experience with the 5K run was coming home and going back in and turning on my computer and looking at Twitter, looking at Instagram, and looking for the revision 5K run, and it actually just seeing, hey, this worked. Like there were pictures from lots of people.
Yes.
A lot of them had done the beer and schnapps break, which was also kind of funny. And some of them had like pictures of that they had done what I did, like buried the beer up front, which felt very much like assembly, actually, not so much like revision. Like burying your bear in some forest somewhere. But I'm thinking, and I'm hoping that people who ran got the same feeling that I did, that like, okay, I'm not at revision, but I'm actually contributing to revision, and I'm doing this thing together with the others. And yes, we were on Discord, we were on all other kinds of social media, and we were in Sofaworld, but I felt like when I was out there running and knowing that other people were running together with me, I was actually like doing something with people.
Yeah. That is cool. That was the hope that this will actually work out the way you just described. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and it's also funny because it somehow gets people who don't always run at the revision due to having huge hangovers or whatever. But there were some participants there whom I never seen run at revision, like Brightlight, for example, was one of the participants who ran. And normally Brightlight comes in at the end of the run. He comes walking in from the hotel having just woken up, but at this point he actually ran. And I also have people who've said things like, well, this will be my first contribution to the demo scene for in 10 years. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's good. Yeah,
cool.
It's a contribution.
Yeah,
and
it definitely was.
And I really feel like it worked, and I really want to thank everyone who ran. And I just realized I haven't emailed the hotline to ask for my diploma, which I probably should. But I don't know if you have a number of how many people who actually did. I know D.Fox, you had some other experience.
Not that many. I think about 10 maybe. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's actually a good point. We still have to make the certificates. Sorry, it is. You know, it's hard times. We have a pandemic going on. There's just not enough time. I'll get to it soon. T-shirts and trophies were more important. But yeah, it will happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So to everyone who ran, they should email the hotline if the hotline is still up.
It is still
It
up.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then thank you again, Leia, for organizing the 5K. Thank you, HellMood, for the great explanation.
You're welcome.
Great
And
contribution.
yeah,
And cheers.
And cheers.
my drink is empty, so we have to
Mine is
refill now.
almost empty.
Yeah,
Cheers.
so yeah, have a great evening.
Yeah.
I'll just fake it. Yeah.
We'll refill during the commercial break.
Yeah.
We are going to now watch the Sofaworld after movie that Gabbie just finished like 3 hours ago. And so it's going to be a world premiere.
Yep.
We'll see the Sofaworld after movie. I have no idea how long it's going to take. I think it's about 3-ish minutes.
That should be enough to get a drink. Yeah.
After that, we're going to be back with, guess what? The Dutchies.
Yeah. Okay, you two enjoy the rest of the night, and see you hopefully at the latest next year at Easter.
Yeah.
Of course, we will. See you.
Have a nice evening.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you at the demo party in real life soon, hopefully. And welcome,
Hello.
Poo-Brain.
We are back. Poo-Brain.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you for this great promo video. Yeah, I have to say, Sofaworld was, I think, the best thing that could have happened to Revision Online. It really
Yes.
enhanced the
Holy
experience
fucking
1,000%. Yeah.
Yes.
I think. Let's dive right in. I guess.
Let's start with the revision question first.
Revision question. How did you like it?
Oh, it was amazing. Absolutely,
You
yeah.
don't have to say that.
It was complicated, I would say.
Complicated, yeah.
By the way,
By
cheers.
the way, yeah.
Yes, cheers.
Cheers, yes.
Cheers. No, it was very weird to experience revision in the way we did this year, but I'm glad we could experience it like this. And yeah, of course, it's the real thing is always better, but
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, you know,
I think considering the circumstances, it was awesome.
Yeah, I saw more of the compost than I ever do, which I heard of more people. But yeah, I really missed just the smell of the toilet tunnel and stuff. And you know, it sounds weird out of context, but just the humidity in the tunnel when you walk there,
the moldy smell,
yeah.
I
And then
actually
random sceners lying in the corners. Yeah, that's
the tunnel is one of the best things that we have. Usually, at least once a year, I try to hang out there for an hour and just. Everybody goes to the toilet, so you have to talk to. You can talk to everybody. That is nice,
yes.
And it's especially interesting if people really need to go very, very, very hard, and you can just involve in the conversation and like they're but I have to go.
But I'm talking to D.Fox. I can't just.
It can be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Or when you meet some Danes with pepper schnapps.
Oh yeah, yeah. That happens.
That part I really didn't miss. You can just go to the toilet at home without the pepper.
No,
spot.
sure. You missed. You really didn't miss that.
No. Nice.
Yeah. So.
Sofaworld.
How the fuck?
How did you do this? Where did you even get the idea? And I mean, I'm not gonna ask you if you're crazy because we know you are. But
well, thanks.
When did you get the idea?
We got it on Poet, actually.
Really?
In the thread, somebody was talking about maybe hosting a stream in Second Life. And then we got the screenshot from the Breakpoint online thing. Ooh. I think that Saga Music was involved in. And then the ball started rolling. And we thought, maybe we can actually do this in Second Life. So we actually contacted Second Life to see if something like this was possible, and we got really corporate emails back, and they were really willing to host it and help us with it. They were so eager. We kind of thought, there's probably a big prize card involved with this. Mm-hmm. And then we thought, can't we do it ourselves? Because we have Unity, of course. Yeah. And maybe we can. And we downloaded some library to do the networking part, and followed some tutorials for that. And basically, in the night, we had something set up that we could join with more people. No way!
One night.
It's the thing that we use is called Photon, and it's really easy to use. It's really nice to set up. And then you have the basics, and then the ball starts rolling, and kind of got a bit out of hand, but
Yeah, but that is the best kind of things going out of hand is, I think, what we experienced there, we have a question from Twitch. Who did all the modeling?
Oh, that's Gabbie and Ixion.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Yeah. Which I guess was a pretty even split. I did the hall, the big AWARC hall, and Ixion did a lot of the props and just dressing up the whole area.
Yeah, and Chibi actually made a currywurst.
Oh,
I did the fries and the currywurst.
A very high poly currywurst, I might add.
And the coffee mug that was over like 2K triangles or something. It was something. I needed something, and we wanted coffee in there. And the same with the initial speaker, like the party machine. Yeah. So I made a very ugly looking version of that, and then Ixion came in and was like, no, this has to look like the proper thing. So
cool.
Yeah, very cool. And yeah, there was basically 3.5 weeks from start to finish. Basically, I mean, if it had to be after the cancellation announcement, and that was roughly 4 weeks before the party, ish. So yeah, could have been that much more time. Yeah,
I guess about 3 weeks indeed.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Crazy.
And you did all this kind of next to your day jobs, I guess.
Yeah, well, I hope my boss isn't watching, because I work from home and maybe not all the time.
Yeah, and I'm a freelancer, so I pretty much don't have a job, so I could spend everything I had on it.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
I think in total we had about maybe 10 people that contributed on the project or so, like on more or less time, give or take, but yeah.
Yep.
Wahnsinn. I'm switching to German. Yeah.
It's
Totaler Wahnsinn.
Totaler Wahnsinn. Yeah. And like during the party was all like, okay, people are hanging out in Discord in the voice channels. The rest is in Sofaworld watching the stream. That was, I don't know, it was really doing so much to bring the revision experience home to the sofa. It was,
especially the peeing and the puking.
Oh yeah,
that was very Poo-Brain of you.
I remember that I think it was you, Dojoe. You said to me, I'm standing here and this guy is standing on a speaker peeing on me for 15 minutes. or cyraxx, I don't know.
That must have been cyraxx. That was me. I was like, oh hey, they are all puking on me. How cute!
Yeah, that's the new greeting.
I figure. I mean, that's the first thing you.
That was actually the first thing that was in there. Before there was even animation or anything, or the chat.
That's true. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was the idea. Like have people join a room, have a stream, and be able to pee on each other. But yeah,
that's.
Then we want to dance, say
experience.
It's really nice.
Yeah, and it was so. It is also so nicely integrated into everything, and just the fact that you can just log in with your scene ID. I started it. It let me log in with my scene ID, and I was like, "Ooh."
There's a story behind that. There's there's also a bit of incompetence from our side, and we were really scary to have input fields that go to a database. So we thought if we use scene ID, at least we're not gonna get hacked or people screwing around with SQL stuff. I don't know. Yeah. So we thought if we do the scene ID thing, then at least that's safe, and then we can only screw up the other things.
Yeah. But smart choice, I guess, because it enabled everybody to be on there much quicker than if you have to create an account or something. Yeah. Yep. So
yeah, it's nice in the end. Gargaj gave us a hand with setting it up. It was really easy to integrate. So thanks, Gargaj.
Yeah, it was really great to be able to recognize people as well. I thought it was really cool to see in 3D, like, oh, this guy is also watching the stream, and oh, this guy, which you don't really get when you have the Twitch stream or anything.
Right.
So yeah, I thought it was a really cool experience.
Yeah, it's. I can only repeat that this was one of the best things that could have happened to bring this all together. Like, we didn't expect anybody put in so much time, like from non-organizer. To enhance the experience and without asking. I remember I think Gabbie, you wrote an email to the hotline. Oh, we made this little thing called Sofaworld. Just have a look. I was like, okay, don't have time right now. But then cyraxx, and the next morning he was like, I looked at it and it's pretty great. And since I have a Mac, I couldn't run it. And I think the first thing I actually saw was when on your laptop, like on Friday, or it was.
I gave it a try.
Pretty cool. Yeah, it's
so
great.
I think. Sure, and I think Havoc was also going on about it in the review Slack.
Yeah,
a lot.
Oh yeah.
He also mentioned it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So see you guys at Outline in Sofaworld.
Yeah.
Yes.
You made some enhancements. So will it be able, can you just switch locations then, or is it a completely new build for Outline, or what did you do?
We just take the eBack and then slap the Outline logo on front, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's going to be added to the client, but we kind of started only a few days ago because we thought, oh, last time we could do it in 3 weeks. But now we actually have to work as well, or I have to, so we'll see how far we get. And I think, yeah, there's some new features coming as well, I think. I think Havoc already said on the invite for Outline that there's going to be character customization, so yeah, I think we now have to do that.
Yeah. And you have the Grolsch bottle, obviously, and Fantas.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that's also a nice moment to ask all the organizers, please send us your t-shirt designs from the last many years. So and everybody can wear his favorite demo scene t-shirt.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That is great.
Yeah, just send them to info@sofaworld.net.
Yes.
info@sofaworld.net. You heard it here first. Yeah. So I'm out of questions because I need more drinks. Dojo, what do you have? You used it more than I did, so you have more insight into Sofaworld, I guess. Yeah.
I'm trying to. I love what you did with the toilet tunnel, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's
Tropical Trevor's
Tropical Trevor's work. Yeah.
Yes. I didn't really go in there because I don't know. I didn't trust Trevor, to be honest.
Afraid you got lost.
Yes.
The prototypes of that were wonderful because once in a while the direction would be wrong, or like the tunnel would just end and you just fall into infinity, or like it was wonderful to test that once in a while. It was really good fun.
Well, it's a bit like in real life in the toilet tunnel.
Yeah, kind of. Depends on how much you drank. Yeah.
Yeah, what I didn't test really was the getting drunk mechanics.
Yeah, they weren't really clear, I think.
Well,
I guess they could.
I would have probably figured them out if I actually made an effort to try them, but I was just like, oh, look, I can grab a beer here and then I can drink, but I mean, I only had a beer in my hand and was watching the stream, so eventually that beer was empty. Can you sober up with coffee?
Yes.
Cool.
You can sober up by coffee and by puking.
Oh,
Yes.
Obviously, yeah.
So that's the reason why the puking is in there.
Did you find the pepper schnapps, Dojo?
No, there's pepper schnapps
Okay.
there.
There is pepper schnapps, yes.
Yeah,
It's hidden somewhere.
I would have gone on the Oki hunt as well, but I didn't have time to.
Yeah.
Yeah, at some point we were afraid it was broken because people usually couldn't find the last one or the last two.
Okay.
And I myself couldn't find them, and I hid them. So, but in the end you could find them. And when you found all of them, you get Oki mustache on your character.
Oh, sweet. That's a nice reward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we want to have more unlockables like that in the future. Like maybe the truck towel, the Oki mustache.
Yeah. I was thinking achievements for, like, I don't know, drinking the most beer. Like beer stats, you can have that. Like Underground Conference has, like beer stats, coffee stats. How many liters did I pee or puke? I think there's something there.
Yes.
Maybe you can start crawling the moment you drink too much beer, and you can see people crawling.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We definitely have to be able to crawl.
Yeah, lay down.
Lay down.
You can probably
You can do toilet tunnel crawl or something.
Toilet tunnel crawl compo, yeah.
Oh, and you could have a water bucket somewhere that people can pick up and kind of just sploosh over people.
To sober up. Or eat Kasfrikadell.
That doesn't sober you up. That's the opposite.
Kas croquette, is it? Kas
No, I
croquette,
think it was Kas souffle that gave everyone
souffle,
Cas souffle.
The thing that doesn't resemble cheese and doesn't contain any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Contains no actual cheese.
Yeah.
No cheese added.
Yeah. Thank you again. I think we have to switch to the next group of guests. Thanks again. I cannot thank you enough for this, and I will. Hopefully, there will be a macOS client at some point.
Yes. Sure.
That's good, because then I can join in at Outline or any other party that's coming in the future.
I think we'll have it at Outline. That has to be.
Okay.
that will happen.
Okay, cool. If not, I probably still have the compo machine here, but a Mac would be more convenient for me. Yeah. Have a great evening. Cheers again.
Cheers.
Yes, you too.
And
Cheers.
see you at, I would say, Outline Online and Sofaworld. Yeah.
Yes, cool.
Yeah.
So next up
is
we're gonna have two guests out of the 4K intro compo. We'll have Noby and Slerpy aboard, and we are going to talk about their entry to the 4K intro compo named Wackelkontakt, and we're going to take a look now.
Yep.
And probably OBS will die again, so
Very
brace for
probably.
another stream dead.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're back.
We are back. Here with us, Noby and Slerpy.
Hello.
Hello.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh.
No, Noby, we're just guessing that you also have a drink, hopefully.
Yeah, I do. I have sparkling water. I hope that counts.
That is also a drink.
That is a drink. So,
thanks for your contribution to Revision.
And thanks for being with us tonight.
A pleasure to see live-ish on the stream, even though it was pre-recorded, but we saw it live.
Yeah.
And as we ask everybody, how was your Revision experience? You can be harsh, you can be nice, but
it worked. It worked surprisingly well. Like I didn't expect it to work as well as it did. I was hanging out with people on Discord for like the entire stream, and it was just a blast.
Yeah,
cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, somehow I was like more tired after this revision than any other one that I've actually been like physically present at. Not sure how that's possible, but yeah, I was very happy with how the thing like came about. I was very skeptical, like because just like everyone seemed like so depressed that revision was there was not gonna be any Easter party, like the first time in like over 2 decades. But in the end, like in the last few days before the party, like everyone just like suddenly seemed like they got a boost of good spirit.
Yeah, it was very shocking to see just revision cancelled on Poet and everywhere. So yeah.
I think I wrote 3 hours on that post to try to be as I mean it's all true what is written there, but to formulate it the way
the post itself was good, but just the headline was a little harsh.
I see it now still. When the thread is popping up, it's still revision cancelled. So shit, should have chosen a different headline. But yeah, I guess it got as kind of a clickbait. Yeah, everybody got interested.
It worked.
It worked. Yeah. Yeah, about people being depressed and it's cancelled. Yeah, I count myself as one of them. We really struggled with cancel, not cancel, and we needed to have a plan to do something. Mostly for us and also for all of you, because it is for me it was unacceptable to have no Easter party. And we didn't want to be the first party that breaks the streak of 24 years now or something. That was just not going to happen, and we're so happy that it worked out the way it did. And we said it before, like the response from everybody with all the releases, all the add-ons like Sofaworld and everything. It tied everything together. It felt for me at least as much as revision as it could have been. Yeah.
And also the demos in Discord. I mean, we had a lot of support from the people running that Discord server, setting everything up, and. Everyone really pulled 150%.
Yeah. So, did you watch alone? Did you have family with you, or like some friends over illegally, like I do?
No,
we were just quarantined with my partner together at our apartment and had a good time watching everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I try to spend time with other sceners on Discord, but otherwise I was just alone in my room.
Okay, but Discord helps, and Sofaworld, I guess, as well. Did you try Sofaworld?
I did a little bit, but I watched the live stream straight from Twitch for the most
part. Yeah. I watched it straight from Switch too, but in between the compas and other stuff, I did pop in there. It was a really great idea, and surprising. You wouldn't really think so, but it's surprisingly helped you to feel together with people, even though it's just virtual avatars. It was a magnificent idea.
Mm-hmm. So your intro, that was quite something. I really liked it.
Yeah, I loved it.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing this to our online party. Yeah. Can you tell us a bit about the process, about your ideas, how you work together? Was it different than usual because revision is different? Did you have a different approach? I don't know.
This intro was certainly all Slerpy's work. I only pretty much came into it the last week and a half before the party. I got involved to help Slerpy get this finished, but I think Slerpy mentioned that this had been in the works for quite a while.
The shader is the idea for the effect was something that I had ages ago. I think I had a first working version of the basic effect at the end of last year, and it just took me forever to figure out what I actually want to show on the fake LCD screen, because the main effect of that intro is more or less just a post-processing effect on some buffer. I played a lot with the idea of having some sort of user interface on the screen, something like a fake desktop or a control interface for some sort of plane or spaceship, but it didn't take me too long to figure out that that's not going to work with the size restrictions that we had. So I played around with different effects and see what would work, what wouldn't work, and I had some effects pretty much set when I contacted Noby about the music. But it was really the soundtrack that pushed me into the right direction to get everything finished up and to get it to look the way it ended up looking. Without the soundtrack, this intro would not have turned out the way it did.
we didn't really have an idea, like neither of us had, like how the intro should be. I immediately, when I got like Slurpy's preview stuff, I was very intrigued and impressed, and like, but yeah, this looks like something that fits well in a 4K, that you can make something interesting out of these visuals, but they're also interesting enough and something that can blow away the compo. So I originally sent just a few prototype tracks that I had lying around, but none of them were really like, you could make an intro with them, but it wasn't like something that like immediately like, yeah, that's the soundtrack. So I just, about a week before the party, I just started sketching something with Oidos. Oidos is a wonderful additive synth by Blueberry. It's highly underrated. I think more people definitely should.
That's also
should
the
use
reason
this.
for the long pre-calc in front of the intro.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no way around that with the current architecture that it has.
But I mean, if you hear the music, you know it's worth it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The music was just made like in the weekend, like before the party, so it's just in a few days, and with having some like a song structure to which make some sort of a narrative out of. Basically everything beyond that like just wrote itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How long did it take? I mean, not the music, but Slurpy, how long did you spend on coding this in general, like, or polishing it?
That's a pretty hard question to answer because like I started working on it like at the end of last year. So if you just look at the entire like time from start to finish, it would be like something like 3 months. But if you just add together like how much I worked on that intro directly, I think it would turn out around like 1 or 2 weeks. Like if I had the idea of like how I wanted to look at the end, like right from the start, I could have made it in 1 or 2 weeks.
Yeah,
but
that's usually
just
not
a design
happens,
struggle.
yeah.
The thing also was that like I think like a week before the party, the intro was still just a few shader toy snippets that we had to somehow wrap into an executable, and we originally tried to, I think Slerpy tried to put it in the Alcatraz framework, but it was kind of hard to get Oidos to work with that, and we didn't want to spend time on that, so we just went with the same 4K framework that I use and have coded.
Yeah, and that's open source, by the way.
Just in like 1 day, and yeah, it's on GitHub. Come to the demos in Discord, and if you just poke me, you can find links to that. But so it's using my framework. I wrote some optimizations for it as well, and some tweaking and stuff. But otherwise the code is all Slurpees.
I've been wondering all this time. You have in some scenes you have these, I would call them color fringe thingy artifacts, and I've been wondering, are you simulating actual RGB subpixels there, or is that the effect?
That's what's going on. Like that intro started off with me like working on a shader toy that actually like renders slightly different color values for all of the color channels, like taking into account that the red, green, and blue channels on the screen aren't exactly at the same position. And then I started taking pictures of that just regularly with my phone. And when I looked at the pictures, I was like, can I do this just with shaders and just with software? And I got something that was pretty close to what I took with my phone.
Cool.
So it's actually simulating all of the different channels, all in shaders.
Awesome.
Yeah, it really enhanced like the feeling of it being real, or like not photorealistic, but I hope you know what I mean. It's like it
feels more real.
Quite a bit. Yeah.
It's like the small details.
And
I think one such small detail that we added at the very end was that we made it slightly bluish. It was originally like neutral gray, but most of the time when you like look at like, especially through cameras, you look at LCD screens, they're like have this bluish hue compared to everything else. So we just tinted it slightly, and that's what like, oh, now it looks like 50% more LCD-ish.
Yes, that actually that made a big impact.
One thing about the like color changing effect, I originally played around with adding chromatic aberration like on top of the entire effect, but because of the like color shift effect you get from the post processing, it actually helped like undo the color effect from the screen itself. So it was like basically black and white on one side of the screen and then like completely amplified on the other side. So I just decided to stick with not having the effect at all.
And you're also moving and rotating the screen plane in 3D space, right?
Yeah. So the way that works is that I basically started off using like an old path tracer framework I wrote. So it's actually a path tracer pointing at a screen and just rendering like a single geometric object. And once I had that working to an extent that looked okay, I started cutting away the things that aren't necessary for that scene. Like I don't have to check which object I hit because there's only a single object in the scene.
Okay.
And I actually got the entire path tracing, the entire intersection calculation, like everything from the ray direction and ray origin to the final point on the plane is just one single line. So I'm able to calculate like, I think it was 200 samples we used for every pixel, for every frame, and it still runs relatively smoothly.
Cool.
Like I was worried that it didn't run as smoothly as it should on certain machines, but I posted the code on ShaderToy and someone commented under that it runs smoothly on their phone. So I think I did a good job at that.
Yes, that worked pretty well.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I have when I got back home, I rewatched it a couple times just on YouTube. Sorry, but I will have to rerun it at home from the exe. Just to watch it in high
YouTube
fidelity.
compression really wasn't too kind to the intro.
Yeah.
Like we tried to help it as much with the compression as possible, but it's still a lot better if you watch it on your own hardware and like in person compared to the compressed version on YouTube.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I have no more question. Do you have anything to add or greetings or I don't know, just toast?
I would say that like it was a very tough and very satisfactory compo, and I'm certainly very happy with third place, and I'm really happy for LJ that LJ won, and his 4K intro is amazing.
Yeah, it was an incredibly strong 4K compo this year.
Yes.
Like I didn't expect to see this many entries and like this quality that we saw at the party, and I'm amazed that like if I look at other intros like NuSan's sync chord, I'm amazed that my intro like scored this high up, like compared to it.
Well,
so I'm very happy with the place.
Yeah, trophy will come in a couple of weeks, as I said before. It's taking a bit longer than usual.
Speaking of compos, one last word about what do you think of the 4K exographics compo?
Brutal.
Brutal is I think that's the right word for it. Yeah.
I mean, it had IQ. Entry by IQ. Like his first entry in like 8 years, and it was just what you would expect. And he probably made it in like an afternoon.
Probably,
and he won.
Deservedly so. But also the entry by Fizzer was
so many great things.
Out of this world.
The demo.
What it was beautiful.
The real party is in your pocket by Fizzer was also that was in the works for quite a while, and there was a lot of care and attention and detail up until like the last minutes like put into that. I also had an entry there, but mine was literally made in like one evening, like the Thursday before the party.
It still looked amazing.
I reused my path tracer and added some new tricks there, but I was just seeing that like, oh, everyone's making like 4K extra graphics now. I guess it's like the peer pressure. I have to make one too. So
yeah, it was great to see. I mean, the compo is always like coin toss. Maybe sometimes we have 8 entries, sometimes we have 3, but this year it was definitely an up year, and I hope that will encourage more people to participate next time again. Because it was really great to see the such a high quality.
Yeah, you could really see that there are a lot of entries in the type of combos that you can like hack together really very quickly, like photo combos or 4K EXE graphics. Those are the kind of things that you can like hack together in an afternoon, and you can tell that there are like a lot of entries. Whereas with the 64K combo, that one was pretty much non-existent this year, because like a lot of people didn't feel like putting in the time without like an actual audience.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well from a couple of 64K groups. But it's fine. It's fine. Other people stepped up and we filled all the compos with awesome entries. So
so don't worry, the compo isn't dying. It's just
certainly not.
So hopefully everything that was planned for this year comes out next year. Then we have to probably have a hell of a 64K compo, hopefully. Yeah. Okay, I think our time is mostly up.
Yep.
Thank you again for joining us tonight.
Yeah.
It's lovely. Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the evening and cheers.
Cheerio.
And see you at hopefully a revision at the latest. Hopefully earlier.
And in the chat at an online party near you.
Yeah. Okay. Next up,
we're going to talk about the Shader Showdown with the people who made it happen. And before that, we're going to break OBS again and take a look at an excerpt of the epic shader battle at the epic shader skill fest DJ sets between Bullet as DJ and IQ, Gargaj, and Flopine as shader coders.
Yep. So let's watch that and see you later.
See you in a bit.
Thanks.
Journey.
And we are back.
Welcome.
Welcome back. And we have a lot of Frenchies with us in the channel. We have NuSan, we have Flopine, we have Alcama, and we have DiFFtY.
Welcome to the stream.
Hey guys, and
Hello.
cheers.
Cheers,
Hi,
and
everyone.
thanks for being here with us tonight.
Good to have you.
Oh yeah.
Thanks
we'll have
for
some
having
drinks.
us.
Anytime. Ooh. So yeah, tell us about your experience with the Shader Showdown and revision in general. How did it work for you?
NuSan, you want to start?
Well, it was super awesome. It felt a little bit like a real revision, really. Like the compo was awesome, and the stress was here too. So yeah, I enjoyed it, and it was also a bit stressful.
Sure. Cool.
I even had this like depression stuff when you have to leave the hall, and you up for I don't know like 4 or 6 hours of cars, and even if I was at home, I was like, no, it's the end of it, please, and I couldn't hug people and stuff, and I was like, no.
Yeah, there's this thing where. Oh, sorry. There is this thing when you don't see the stream, the Twitch stream online, and it's like it's over. Because the Twitch, just like in the real life, the stream is always on, and so you can drop by at any time, and then you click on the icon, and it's over.
That's finished.
Yeah, it was weird here for us too. Suddenly it was just over, and I missed saying goodbye to everybody like in person. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't sadly pack myself to be there with you, especially for the event with the big M. But you did a fantastic job, so it was awesome to see you.
But
still, like for me, it was very an interesting one because for the first time, I think I actually saw all the compos. Most of the time at revision, I'm outside drinking and speaking with people, so I missed tons of things, and that's probably the first revision where I could watch everything. So, but no, it was fantastic.
So you have to do this online every year.
No,
optimized for Alcama.
but
I miss my hugs.
But also the real one.
Yeah. Well, we are streaming every year, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know,
not in this way.
Yeah.
Sofaworld could be up for every year now, along with the stream for Sofa Sceners, even if the revision is happening in real life, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
That is a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I'm sure
It
that
can
will
be a
happen.
great thing for people that can be here, that can be at revision, and that follow on the stream. Yeah, there is a ton of interesting stuff that has been made just for the online revision.
Yeah. Yeah, if everybody uses Discord instead of IRC, so the conversation can go on, people can still join Discord while they're at the party place and talk to the people at home. That sounds actually like a great idea. Yeah, I'm pretty sure something like that will happen. Yeah.
Yes, I am also pretty sure.
Now that we went there, it's hard to imagine it without Discord and the real-time communication with people from all over the world. Yeah.
Do we have to thank the COVID to help the revision be pushed
I'm
forward?
not thanking COVID for anything.
I would not say
sure.
thanks to, but yeah, it
say that.
definitely
Kinda.
helps people to be more innovative in the party kind of
it opens
subject.
opens some opportunities. Yeah.
At least we
Yeah,
definitely
I would never.
necessity in a way.
Yeah, all that. Yeah.
I would never think I would be able to live jamming with IQ in my entire life. So.
There you have it.
Yeah, I remember Havoc chatting with me, and it was, I think, after everything was done, and he was like, can we have maybe another time slot during the DJ set, because then he pasted me some chat log with Gargaj, and then I understood, okay, something is going down and we want to be there for it. And suddenly 2 or 3 hours later, it was all coming together, and that was really a fantastic thing to watch. Yeah.
This is amazing, and I have to say, I mean, not just making this online Shader Showdown framework in the first place, but also essentially rewiring it into a DJ/VJ system within 1 hour. That is, I mean, we've been struggling to get OBS running for 2 hours now.
That's all NuSan and DiFFtY and Alcama server.
Yes.
So those are the guys you should. Thanks for that.
And I'd like to move into that territory and ask you how. Like, how does this work? How do you do it? And how long did it take you to kind of take it from the idea to working?
So I think the magician here is actually NuSan. It was a Thursday night during one of Flopine stream, where we actually usually bomb the chat completely with stupid comments. And we had this idea and said, but how will they do during revision to do a shader showdown? And it was kind of sad to say, oh, maybe it will not happen. And I think that I actually said, like, I contributed a few bad patches, like people don't hate, people hate them, but I contribute to the main Bonzomatic repository, so I know how it works. And I know that it's very easy to hack. So I had this idea to say, okay, we will not stream the video itself because this will be tons of organization and maybe some coders don't have the bandwidth to do that correctly and all. Why not just send the shader itself? And initially it was like I wanted to make something very simple. So I came up with, let's use some simple WebSockets, like a server, so that even we don't need to make peer-to-peer connection because this could fail with your home equipment. So let's make a server that is just echoing shaders and someone sending the shader there and gathering it at the other side. And I described that during Flopine's streaming.
What?
And yeah, in the chat, like I came up with that and said, okay, maybe it's possible. Then I think I discussed it with NuSan just after the stream, and with Evil the morning after. We had a long discussion because they wanted to make something very complex. They started to think about adding different lines, like be able to send keystrokes instead of and I said, no, we don't have time. I will do what I can, and I will just push the shaders, like the full shaders each time. And
oh yeah.
When I said it to NuSan, it was during the weekend, so a Saturday after that, and on Monday, NuSan had actually re-implemented everything in Bonzomatic, and I had my server running. So over the weekend, he had actually implemented the whole thing, and he made like 9 iterations of that, and yeah. So basically, like I just did a tiny server in Go to echo WebSockets, so very tiny things, and NuSan did all the job for the rest.
And it's cool, absolutely never got broken on any way, because we did a few live stream before revision. We tested the stuff a few times, and I think it never broke, except for the HLSL.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's
a different story. Gargaj fault.
That's Gargaj doing DirectX.
Doing an infinite loop.
So thanks, Gargaj, for breaking the set. But no, but yeah, I think the network path was really simple but strong, and we didn't have any drop from anyone, and so yeah.
Yeah,
simple stuff, but a really robust system.
Yeah. Well, something else that was motivating me to do the network version was a live event that we had planned with the Cookie Collective. We had planned to make like in a casual bar, do some live coding with a projector and a beer and things like that, but obviously it was cancelled. And so I was thinking also to do the tool for that event, and also to use that small event as a warm-up to test and see every problem. And there was some problem, like for example at when you did it the first time, we didn't have the audio from the DG, and it was very strange for the coders to not have the feedbacks or not have any music. So that's one thing that we had to work out, and yeah, I'm glad we tested it before.
Yeah, there was actually there's an interesting question because Flopine, how does it work in comparison to usual? So you don't have the audio, and you watch the stream, and you just are in the zone and just coding on your own without any input from the outside. How does it work?
So for the shader showdown at revision, the sound was streamed on the Alcama server, and you just have to get the link on VLC, for example.
Okay.
Like had the RSS flux, I think, something like that.
It was a nice cast server at Alcatraz, I think, and the DJs were pushing their sound on the. So that's why the Flopine could connect to VLC via VLC.
Yeah, I had the music on VLC and I was coding, and to be honest, it felt a bit like it was not exactly the same feeling because people were not there, kind of, and I was not able to make like what the other people do. I don't know, because
you have to turn to see the time.
Yeah, the time was the biggest issue I had because you had no idea of the time left.
The stream delay, yeah, okay.
So sometimes I asked it on the chat, please the time, because I didn't want to watch the stream at the same time. I was afraid maybe my connection would not handle sending information and watching the stream, so I cut everything, and I was kind of inside my bubble, but still stressed.
Sure, yeah.
And yeah, the time was the biggest issue, but the sounds it was good because I was able to fetch the music on VLC through the server.
Okay, that's good.
DiFFtY explained.
That's definitely something we should look to improve the time thing. Maybe we could do some synchronized timer. I don't know. It's something we didn't think about at all before.
No, because on Cookie, most of the time we don't do battle, we do more cooperation, so it's more like 30 minutes, or it can extend. And as you see, in the Cookie side, we have done like 4 people at the same time, because now you can mash up. Actually, you are not restricted to 2 people. You can do way more than that, as long as DiFFTY's computer can launch as many Bonzo and stream OBS and receive audio and route Discord voice. You have your setup, like everything is okay, but it's basically depending on the. And I was amazed by DiFFTY's computer because you could do wild stuff like batch shaders. Except for Gargaj, like DirectX and the compilation time is actually locking the computer in a way, so this is what caused some incident.
But so you rendered all 3 shaders at the same time on DiFFTY's computer.
Yes.
Oh, I received all the packets and all the shaders at the same time. I had 3 screens, one for the main OBS things, one for chat and stuff, and one last just to put the 4 window in a cascade way, so I could click on them and like hide the code and stuff. And everything was rendered on my computer, and it's a kind of a miracle that it didn't. Crashed at all, and even I did a stream like yesterday, and it was just with a few people on Discord, video Discord, and my computer really didn't handle this well, but it can handle like 4 massive shaders. I really don't know. I don't know about computers anymore. I don't understand.
But that's an interesting thing, because now with Bonzo, basically you can, when you launch it, you can just code offline, of course, like the usual Bonzo version, but you can be a sender or grabber. So sender is you are a coder and you are sending to a room, and grabber can listen to this room and your nickname and receive your shader, which means you can actually run what people are coding in live. And I think Flopine has done that, like the last stream that you did, where actually people could just connect to this, because we still stream to my server sometimes, but I've seen some live shader. You can just open NuSan's branch, be a grabber, know the room ID and the nickname of the coder, and see the shader executing. So no more codec problem. You can just.
I would love to do that during my stream, but I didn't try it because I was afraid of security issues. I don't know if you thought about the thing that the grabber will have access to your room in the server, and I was like, oh, maybe
no,
I
like
don't
the
want
room is an ID, so you can.
I try to take care of security issues with the tool, but I'm not a network programmer.
No, but the server is just WebSocket, so you cannot do. I don't think you can do much harm with it. And my server is still running, so basically.
Okay, so we should definitely talk about it more, and I will try it maybe at my next.
We'll try it and then learn the hard way.
Yeah,
but that's a fun way to consume it. You see, that's a fun way to consume shaders because then you can execute them locally
and I think it can also be a good learning experience. Like you are following a shader streamer and he explains, or she or he explains stuff, and then you can grab the shader and tweak values on your side to be sure you understand correctly or whatever. I think it could also be a good teaching tool, actually.
Yeah, it's also the other thing. You have all the shaders. You have it immediately on your computer if you grab, and you can look like by default the tool is following the cursor from the coder, but you can also change your mode and you can see what you want.
Scroll to other parts. So even if they are working on something that you're not interested in, what was she doing at this line? And you can just hit F3, I think, and go to wherever you want in the shader, and you still have updates and everything is working. So the only thing that the coder controls is the shader, so you cannot edit when they type when you're a grabber, and you can and the coder is actually sending the recompilation. So each time they do Control R or the other F key to refresh, that is sent along with the shader. And I think we set initially for most of our stream you have one shader every 0.3 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's basically real time. Like you see them type, etc. But we are not streaming keystroke. We are seeing the full shader each time, and it works. So why care?
It's just text, you know.
Yeah, it's just text compared to video nowadays. Volumetrically, it's like my server were like, I have the smallest server possible on my provider, like something that cost me, I think, maybe 70 euros per year or every 2 years, I don't know. And it's like the CPU was not marginally moving, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, that doesn't do a lot.
Nice. Okay, cool. Thank you for being here tonight. We will switch to the next couple of guests, and thanks again for all of you to participate with all your skill and everything to make Revision Shader Showdown happen. And thanks to Havoc if you're watching. That was
thanks to Havoc. Yes,
awesome. Everything.
You are so
awesome.
cool, Havoc.
Thank you so much for getting this together.
Yeah, that was just as with most guests that we had here tonight. Everything the people do enhance the end result that we had, and it was really great to have Shader Showdown in that kind of quality and a lot of it, and with the show battles, that was really great.
And thanks to all the DJs during all those Shader Showdowns.
Exactly.
We had Hoffman this year. It was awesome. Like the music was super cool. And thanks to all the people that let this happen during their. Because like the music events, basically we act the music events. So thank you so much for letting that happen, like this IQ battle and all, and Ronnie to let also. So it was so cool.
But it wasn't supposed to be a shader vegging thing, but he let us mix the supposed video and the shader thing, and I think he liked it. So and everybody liked it, so it's cool. And thanks to you for trusting us with everything.
Trusting DiFFtY.
I don't know if you should do this too much.
I think my battery in my earpod is out because I can't hear anything anymore.
Oh,
so
okay.
Mine is still
working.
Couple of guests.
So far.
So I say goodbye already, and we'll charge my earpods.
Yeah.
Cheers. Bye. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you. And as somebody on the Twitch chat already said, you'll never guess what the next guests are going to be. We are going to take 3 minutes to recharge our AirPods, and in the meantime, we're going to show you Way Too Rude by Logicoma and Loonies. And when we're done with that, we'll have Hoffman, Farfar, and Blueberry on to talk about the demo with us. So, time for OBS to crash.
Hey there.
Hey,
welcome
and
back.
we're back.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
And we have with us Farfar, Blueberry, and Hoffman. All
Hello.
responsible for this amazing 64K that we just saw.
64K, yep.
Yeah.
Very
So,
cool.
as with every guest, how did you experience Revision this year?
Wait,
No?
sorry? First things first.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Drinks. Drinks.
Cheers. Oh dear, I'm quite low.
Skull.
Oh. Hang on, we got two Danes here. They've not got pepper schnapps.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that's weird. That was waffle message.
Not tonight.
So, Revision. How was it for you?
Exhausting.
Really?
For some reason, yeah. I mean, it was quite kind of weird, right? Because I was just sitting in a chair all weekend, watching on the TV, right? And for some reason, I mean, I had a few times during the weekend I was thinking, oh, now I really need to sit down and, well, hang on, I'm already doing that. So, so I think it was maybe this extreme amount of input and not the human contact to balance it out. There was sort of a very one-sided way of using the brain, right? So it's,
yeah.
I think that's why it was exhausting.
Yeah, consuming all the time, and not. And actually, we didn't really have any minute of
downtime
in the stream. I mean, Friday, maybe a half an hour, but Saturday, Sunday, I think there was maybe 5 minutes in between, but sometimes not even that. So it was definitely exhausting.
I mean, I think from where I was at least, it felt like everything, all the pieces were there, except I got to sleep in my own bed. So, which
is a bonus.
It's quite nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and proper food. That's what we had at least. We had we cooked every day. We had a nice breakfast, even though breakfast was sometimes delayed until after the first compos were running because we got up too late.
The pizza was better?
The pizza was, But we had was some upsides to this. Own bed and proper food. Even though I would love to have currywurst.
We could have gotten currywurst.
Yeah, but you need the real.
You need the real currywurst. I understand. Yeah, I would never want to trade this for actually meeting and hugging you guys and chatting over beer and currywurst.
Yeah. We need to get in the middle of the night and standing in front of the photo wall and taking pictures.
Oh yeah, the photo wall. We need to give each other twice as many hugs next year.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. if our governments allow it.
Or not.
Then, hopefully, yeah.
Well, by then I think I am optimistic we'll have some kinds of vaccines by then.
Hopefully. Dog, what is going on?
We have some kind of vaccines already, I guess.
We heard from a prominent U.S. President that injecting some
bleach,
chlorine and bleach that will take care of it.
It'll be fine.
Injecting pepper schnapps.
Pepper schnapps. I take that. I would like that more.
I think we might have a surge in Darwin Awards this year.
Absolutely. It's essentially when everyone or when the president was about hydroxychloroquine, and everyone started injecting themselves with hydroxychloroquine, and people died, of course.
Yeah, just have it lying around apparently. Anyway, we shouldn't talk about that. Even though it's a fascinating topic, it has nothing to do with with us here. So thanks again. Amazing 64K. Walk us through it. I mean, it was reminiscent of Everyway, so it was also using the Rose engine. It's called Rose, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So what changed technologically between Everyway and this one? Because there were some more interesting effects and put some twists and everything, yeah?
Yeah, so there are a few changes. So it supports more colors, so you can have 2 layers with 3 colors in each instead of just the 3 colors in the background as the earlier one. And there was a lot of convenience features for fading the palette and especially for splitting things into multiple files and various things that would made it easier for multiple people to work on the same demo at the same time. So many of these were implemented just a few weeks before the party.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think if we go as far back, I think it's about December time last year. I finally bit the bullet and said I was going to make an Amiga synth engine for OCS, and because it's usually around December time where I think, what am I going to do for Easter? because I'm one of those people that I like to, plan ahead, so I'm not like crunching massively at the end. Even though we did end up massively crunching at the end,
but it was fun.
It was. Oh, God. Yeah. So that came to fruition by about mid-February, I think. The synth engine was all working, everything was coming together, and I think with Every Way, that was kind of, it was again a lot of the same synth stuff that I had before, but it was all just like text files and stuff. So this time I'd like built a physical tool to be able to do everything. So you had parameters and sliders, and you could like do sound design and all this kind of other stuff. So all that was kind of built by about February time, and then I thought the thing to do this time around, rather than kind of develop the demo and the soundtrack at the same time, was just to make the soundtrack, and then you've got something static to work against. I can't remember when that was kind of finished. It was about 4 weeks before revision, 3 weeks. I can't remember now. Probably about that. And when I was kicking that stuff about, I got in touch with Farfar because I'd seen that he'd done some experiments, some really cool stuff with Rose. I tapped on his window and said, I'm kind of working on something. Do you want to jump in? Farfar like produced some really, really cool stuff with Rose. So we kind of threw all that in, and at the same time, we pulled Blueberry in, and then he started pulling in some extra features into Rose for us. And he wasn't really working on very much at the time for revision, so just like, well, what are you guys working on? And he's like, well, just come in, let's just go and riff on some stuff. And that's kind of how it all came together, really. We just kind of made the soundtrack, and then just smashed all the stuff together, and that's kind of how it all came together.
Yeah, cool. That was pretty nice. Yeah, it was like Every Way on steroids or something.
Yeah, it's funny because the Rose engine was primarily designed actually for 4K intros, right? So it's a very, very small engine, and the data is really compact. So there's also been this question out like how much of these 64K, how much is music and how much is visuals actually? And I did the calculation like with the compressor sizes, and it's about 88% music and 12% visuals in terms of the size.
It's amazing. Yeah, you said something about 7K compressed size for the graphics, right?
For all the visuals, yes. All the graphics and animation, and
Yes, if you took the soundtrack out, it would be a 7K demo.
Incredible.
Might be a bit boring though.
But I mean, you're storing samples in there, right? So
yeah, there's a lot of samples and stuff in there. So I had, it's interesting because I've been working with obviously Ferris on 64Ks, where when we're getting up to the point of release at revision, I notice he has stuff kind of in his back pocket in terms of size reduction that you know how to do it, and you know how to implement it, but you're thinking, well, actually we don't need to at the moment because we're not at the size restriction yet. So I had some more tricks up my sleeve in terms of like shrinking down that music data, and it would have probably shaved like nearly half of the sample data off. But the end result was, we didn't need to, so we just left it as it was. But I mean, when we got close to the deadline, I think when because Blueberry did the greet section, which was phenomenal. And he gave us the script, and then I compressed it, and we were like, we're about 100 bytes away from the limit. It's like, we're still in size though, it's fine.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, it was so much fun working on this. I mean, I like this. I mean, having the music and then just seeing what kind of pictures come up in your head when you listen to the music and screen. Like I like that way of working, and with the with something like the Rose engine, you could do this really quickly and iterate really quickly, right? So
that's a big thing for me in terms of using Rose. Is you can really kind of riff with it. You know, you can just kind of play with stuff. It's really quick because obviously the visualizer and the compiler are all within a standard PC or Mac system. So once you've got your music in there, doing things like synchronization and just playing with stuff, it's super quick. Like you can kind of pause the visualizer and then adjust your script, and then you save it, and then it re-renders it at the exact frame. It's just it's makes it. That's why it's so fun to play with, because you can just make so many iterations so quickly.
And you essentially you just drop a WAV file in it and get cracking on the graphics, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Kind of. That's the one of the reasons that I started messing around with it was also what Ian is describing, that it's so quick to iterate on stuff and you get the real-time feedback. It's maybe for an artist, I don't know if it's the easiest tool to get into using, but I have a help desk in Blueberry, so that's good. But once you sort of get into it, I think it's just really fun to see where you can push it, because
I think when you have the really quick iteration, you start being able to use a different part of your brain than when you have several seconds. Just even a few seconds from doing something until seeing the results means you sort of get out of the focus, right? But having the immediately, like you have an editor and the visualizer on the screen at the same time, and you do something in the editor, and as soon as you press save, you have the result in the visualizer, right? And if you are looking at working on a section of the demo, it remembers like where the animation started, and it will start from the same time each time, so you can you can iterate on a piece of the effect just by changing, saving in the editor and see it over and over again. Right? And that these extremely quick iterations, I think, makes a huge difference for the workflow.
That is. I think that is pretty much crucial to an artist, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there was the same with the synth engine as well. Was that once I spent a lot of time building the interface and everything else, so that you had when I did Everyway, it was all very it was done in an emulator with assembly code to generate the samples. So you change numbers in a text editor via an emulator, and then generate binary data, and then save that, and then load that into ProTracker and go, no, that sounds rubbish. Go back, change the parameters again. It's just horrific. So the synth engine now is one way you can change the parameters. You hit render, you hit play. So you get your instant feedback. So in terms of sound design, it shrinks down that time that you spend like massively. It's the same with I mean, 'cause I plugged in the synth that Blueberry's written, I've used before. Plugged that actually into the framework, and that's another example where you've got a VST and you can change the parameters. You get instant feedback with those parameters, so you don't have that time spent going, I need to export that, I need to move that file there, So it really helps with that workflow. So that instant feedback is just essential.
Essentially it always is, right? Just like coding and everything else.
Just in time compiling and visual updates, that is really immensely helpful there. Okay, I think our time is mostly up, even though we don't have a real time limit. Do we have some words still? Anything you want to say? Will there is source code available for the Rose engine, or can we just download it?
It's up on GitHub.
Yeah, the Rose engine is on GitHub, both the visualizer and also the Amiga runtime code, the engine itself for Amiga.
Also the source for all the demos, right? I think I've even seen Way to Root in there too.
I don't think Way to Root is in GitHub yet, but everywhere is there.
All
To
the other
Root
ones today, yeah. I don't think we've we probably need to tidy it up a little bit.
Yeah. Could be, yeah.
We've basically got a Google Drive folder with about 150 files at the moment.
Yeah.
It's just got all of our tests and everything.
Yeah.
And we're not really sure. We're not really sure when you get. There's like a main file that includes the rest of them, and those include the other ones. And we're not really sure in that folder what's needed yet.
And that was actually, I was thinking of implementing a new feature in the rows visualizer, actually just to print like which file ended up being included, right?
Yes.
Okay, so these are the files that we used. So like
that'd be great. I don't think we need that before we can clear out the folder.
Cool. So thanks again for being with us tonight.
Can I just say thanks to you both and the entire team for putting on Revision Online. I know when the cancellation announcement first came out, I felt a bit sad, but at the same time, when I saw it was online, I know me and Farfar had a conversation because we were already working on this at the time when the announcement came out. And luckily, Farfar drew a Revision logo in rows, so we really didn't have a choice but to finish the intro. So, but yeah, thanks to everyone involved. It was a brilliant weekend, and it filled a gap that would have really made me very sad if it wasn't there.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for contributing with your work.
As always.
Yeah. I've been told I'm tired, so maybe it's also time to wrap it up.
Just my eyes. I always look tired.
I'm not sure who would blur, me or you. We both are
I don't
tired.
know, but I'm guessing it's me because when we did Revision Online, people kept being worried about me.
Yeah, because you sometimes if you freeze like.
Yeah, that's my camera freeze frame.
I've got one last question.
Yeah.
Has Dojoe spent the entire evening without mentioning the meteorics?
No,
in the beginning. In the very beginning, I said the M word once.
Yeah.
Yes. And then D.Fox said it right after.
I was on a tight budget.
Yeah, tight budget. Yeah. Okay, then thanks for being here. We will maybe take a couple of minutes and see if there are any questions on Twitch about Revision.
Yeah.
And then we wrap it up because I think I slept like 2 hours and then I had to play Animal Crossing. Then I slept another hour. I was awake, so
So you played Animal Crossing,
and I had to water my plants, and I had to catch some fish and everything. So talk to the villagers. It's very important
Valley's
work.
better.
I haven't played Animal Crossing yet, but I'm with you there.
Yeah, both are great. Yeah. It ropes you in, both of them.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Thanks for being with us tonight, and have a nice rest of the evening.
Thank you.
Cheers.
See you around. Cheers.
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 So also my earphones are crapping out again.
Oh, okay.
So are we kicking the guys out of the chat, or they're leaving on their own?
We can leave. We can leave.
Yeah, just
show ourselves out.
It's been nice, but it's enough now. Okay, so we can recharge these because we don't need them anymore.
That is true, but
you like to have the background noise?
I'm just hearing on word on my headphones.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. So any questions on Twitch? And I try to be awake.
Revision Online was awesome. Yes.
True. Revision FTW for the win. I always think something else, but okay. What is your friend code? For the Switch. It is some combination of numbers and letters. I'll send it to you later. Evil, you have a question? The doggo seems to like the couch streams. Oh yeah, he is. That's the reason why we didn't have him here over the revision weekend, because it would have been in our way, in our hair, and on the stream all the time, which might have been nice, but also a bit stressful. So yeah, but tonight he is here. What's happening about the t-shirts? Yeah, Felice and Maggie. It will take a couple of weeks. They will be produced beginning of next week, and then we need to ship them out. Will probably be 4 weeks at least. Sorry about that, but that's just how long things take nowadays. Yeah. Such a shame D.Fox lost the sexy haircut. Oh yeah. Which one? I have so many styles.
Purix, yes. I am looking forward to the Wheel of Unfortune.
The Wheel of Unfortune. Gargaj, how did the budget turn out? It turned out pretty well. We had a lot more visitors, so to speak, like tickets and t-shirts sold than we anticipated. So that surplus will be used next year for an even more amazing revision, hopefully. Why did you replace the weird sex toy lamp with just 2 boring plants? Oh yeah, we switched this one. Oh, okay. We should have cut the stream so it doesn't. So people don't realize I actually wear a wig because it's my real hair.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, I think I put that on right.
I suck at this.
Oh yeah, yeah. The sex toy. It is. We put on this one because it has a flat surface. I could put the South service sign up there, and the other one was too wonky. We had during the recording of the Meteorix laureate, the Meteorix award show. We had a meteoric glued on the dildo.
It kept falling.
It kept
down.
falling off. So yeah, this was a better replacement, but it is still there. It's over the other side. Yeah, flat surface. Yeah. So wicked beardos. Yeah, here we are. You made a wig from your real hair? Yeah, sure. This is all real hair. Oh yeah, spooky, huh? Yeah, I think he wants to go outside at some point. So, yeah, some thoughts, Dojo, about, I don't know, my hair.
It's fabulous, as always.
Thank you. I spend a lot of time on it.
Putting it on.
Putting it on. Definitely a lot of time, yeah. And Dojo is back, yeah. Spook has to come to revision next year. Yeah, I don't think so. It will be too much action for him, and we will not have a minute to take care of him. So it is okay at a party like Evoke, even though it was overwhelming for him as well. But at Evoke, for example, we don't have anything to do but be there, so we can take care of the dog. But at revision, that's just not possible, and it will be too harsh on his ears and his yeah, maybe he will be with friends. It was planned that he will be with friends in the area of Saarbrücken. He might have visited one day, but yeah, maybe next year. HellMood, yeah, thanks as well. Thanks for all the info you gave, and thank you all of our guests. It was working out quite nicely, even though we had short notice.
It was a very fun evening.
Yes.
But I think it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah, I think so too.
I am actually really getting tired now.
And you have to drive home still.
That too.
And or you want to crash here?
No, I'm gonna
drive
back home.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm tired as well. Yeah. I'm out of words. Yeah. Thanks again for everybody watching here tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Our little after show. We might do something non-revision related, or it's loosely revision related in the next couple of months. We'll see about that, because it's fun to do this, but we need to improve our setup because this is crazy.
It's working.
Well, mostly. At least once we have guests, it gets really weird with the audio routing, but we can get some help from professionals for that.
Yeah, it really worked. Okay, stick around. We've got something prepared for you to close this, and we'll say good night. Have a good time. Have a great weekend.
Yes.
And we'll see you online very soon, and hopefully in person
almost
also
as soon. Almost as soon, yeah. Signing off.
Goodbye, family.
Cheers.
And now my hair fell off.
We got this. Dojoe, what happened to your beautiful hair?
My hair is beautiful. I am fabulous, bitch!
Yes, you are.
Right. Okay, so we're trying this again for a last time. If not, we're playing Fam by Attention or just watch it on YouTube. And now OBS is going to crash.
Definitely.